on the other side, the yips and drops and all of that, we call them mental blocks in gymnastics, or people call them twisties or all these different things. My coach, would say it's exactly what you said. It's not being able to get out of your own way. So your body knows how to do it, but your mind starts to question. And he always told me the analogy of it's like this white wall in front of you. You think behind the white wall is bricks when it's actually just paper. And he said, if you have the courage to go through it, it's the easiest thing to get through, but you can second guess yourself and feel like you're going to get hurt. And what my coach would always do is if I ever got a mental block, if I had the luxury of not being in a competition or something, he'd say, go take the day off. He's like, you're done. Your mind is overthinking and questioning your ability. And he'd say, take a day off, go have fun, get your mind off of gymnastics. And I would take a day, a few days, a week off just to kind of refresh. And something else he would do is he was very good at celebrating failure. I think a huge issue for athletes is when you start to get that second guess kind of yips, whatever it is, you get very insecure about yourself. You get very worried. You get very tight. You get very stressed. And that just only amplifies the problem. And my coach would always, from the get-go, whether we fell, whether we got a mental block, he'd be like, okay, that means we're doing something right.
Yep.
And he just made it seem like it was so little, which made the problem smaller, if that makes sense.
Makes total sense. I think that's a really interesting approach.
Yeah. And I think in Simone's situation, she wasn't protected enough from all of the pressure and stress from the world. And she wasn't allowed to succeed in what she did.
Yeah, unfortunately, it fell in the biggest 2-week window of her life. If it would have fallen 6, if she would have went through that, I mean, there's no predictor of when that's going to happen, right? It happens to all of us. I can remember offhand all the times where you kind of find yourself in your own head. It just so happened that it happened to her in the middle of the Olympics. Well, I appreciate your perspective on that. I think it's really interesting insight, both of yours and your coach, Chow, and also just sharing your perspective on what Simone went through. It was obviously a international story at the time that we all kind of witnessed with different perspectives from afar.